Did you go through my phone?
So I did. You know what your problem is? I ain't got no problem. Don't tell me.
Don't do that.
Oh my God! Have you been following Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Season 12 has been insane. The drama has been off the charts, but episode 15, girl, it took things to a whole new level. Let me tell you about Kendra Robinson, Joc's wife. She absolutely stole the show. Her storyline, mind-blowing. Fans haven't seen anything like this in years. You know how Kendra's always been Joc's rock, right? Standing by him through everything. Well, this episode showed us a completely different side of her. As soon as the episode started, you could feel something was seriously wrong in their marriage. Kendra has always been this picture of strength, independence, and unwavering loyalty. The woman has weathered so many rumors about Joc with remarkable grace. She's balanced his career and public image like a boss. But this episode, the Kendra we saw left viewers absolutely stunned. Their relationship has never been perfect. We all know that. Joc's had his fair share of relationships with other women, his past mistakes, and the pressure of his entertainment career plus family life. But something was different this time. Everything seemed to have reached a breaking point. Despite all their ups and downs, Kendra has always been the definition of loyalty. But honey, her frustrations were becoming impossible to ignore. She's been by Joc's side through everything, supporting him even when everyone questioned his commitment. We all know Joc with his flirty personality, charm, and love for drama. The world might have doubted Joc's loyalty, but Kendra stood by him like the devoted wife she is until now. It all started with this pivotal moment that felt like a complete revelation for Kendra. After months of emotional turmoil, silence, and growing resentment between her and Joc, she finally took the opportunity to meet with her friends at a local cafe. She opened up about her marriage, her frustrations, and this overwhelming sense of discontent that had taken root inside her. She's always been the supportive partner, but now Kendra was prioritizing herself for the first time in years. Joc's actions, his lack of commitment, and the chaotic nature of his career had left her questioning their entire future. She was no longer willing to be defined solely by her relationship with Joc. It became glaringly clear that she was exhausted, not just from the strain of their marriage, but from carrying the weight of their relationship alone while Joc remained preoccupied with all the drama surrounding him. Kendra found herself looking beyond their marriage for something she felt was missing, and that's when something unexpected happened. Kendra met someone new. There was this clear spark between them, an undeniable chemistry that caught everyone by surprise. This new man was attentive, charming, and seemed to truly understand Kendra's emotional needs in a way Joc never had. In contrast to recent months, Kendra's vulnerability in this new connection felt like a breath of fresh air. It was a side of her that viewers hadn't seen before, revealing the emotional depth she had long kept hidden.
My eggs, so when it's over with, I have some younger eggs for the next I'm dealing with. That's how I felt. At this point, she said, let her do what she want to do. So I said, do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. So
what do you mean?
I'm doing what I want to do.
You can't do what you want to do because the last time you did what you want to do,
you stepped out on Kendra and had a baby.
It feels like to me she already made the decision for herself, for me and our future. And, here I am. It's kind of like, do I go to prove her right and do my thing? When I already know how she feels, she already telling me what it is what it is, man. I'm like, whatever. You gonna say, you gonna do what you want to do, I'm doing what I want to do.
Joc, this is your wife. Maybe she's just hurt. You can't not care because...
But Gianna wasn't here when she said, I don't have kids with you. Nobody was here. I wasn't cheating, none of that. I was busting my ass to make sure I was providing for my family, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever.
That's a lot. I've never seen Joc like this before, so clearly Kendra look at talk with him never go too well. I'm afraid that Joc is gonna do something stupid.
The tension between Kendra's past relationship with Jay and her growing connection with this new man created a seismic emotional conflict that unfolded throughout the episode. Kendra had spent years trying to make things work with Joc, fighting through emotional roller coasters to keep her marriage intact. But with this new man, something completely different stirred within her. For the first time in years, she felt truly seen and valued, something Joc had failed to provide. Kendra was now at a major crossroads in her life. She had always been the devoted wife, the one who put her family first, no matter the cost. But now, as this new possibility emerged, she began to question whether it was worth continuing to invest her emotional energy in Joc. For the first time, she realized that her happiness could be her own choice, not something determined solely by her relationship. The allure of a fresh start with someone who truly cared about her well-being was tempting. As the episode progressed, Joc began to notice the changes in Kendra. The woman he had once relied on was evolving into someone different. His once steady confidence started to falter as the tension between them reached a boiling point. Despite his efforts to rekindle their relationship, he found himself facing resistance. Kendra was no longer the same woman she had been when they first met. Gone was the quiet, patient wife who had silently endured Joc's behavior. She was now evolving into an unapologetic, assertive woman who demanded the respect and devotion she deserved. A confrontation was inevitable. As Joc tried to restore their connection, Kendra had to make a heart-wrenching decision. Would she continue to endure a marriage that had emotionally drained her, or would she free herself and explore other possibilities? Joc's frustration was palpable as he tried to justify his actions, but Kendra wasn't having it anymore. The perfect facade of their relationship cracked wide open, revealing the fractures that had always been there. While Kendra's meeting with the new man didn't immediately signal the end of her marriage, it marked a significant turning point in her journey. It was clear that Kendra had overcome her fear of putting herself first. Rather than waiting for Joc to change, she was taking control of her own life. She recognized her own worth and understood that her happiness could no longer be tied to Joc's actions or inactions. The episode ended with Kendra still uncertain about her next steps, but the chemistry between her and the new man left viewers wondering if this would ultimately be the catalyst for the end of her marriage. This wasn't just about a new boyfriend. It was about Kendra's empowerment, about discovering that she had the power to chart her own course regardless of where it took her. Kendra Robinson's character arc in Season 12, Episode 15, was nothing short of transformative. She went from a supporting wife to a woman who understood her own value and was unafraid to take charge of her future. It was a story of growth, of letting go of the past, and of embracing the difficult decisions that come with starting anew. The episode set the stage for a new chapter in Kendra's life, one that would test her marriage, her identity, and her relationship with Joc and the world around her.
I'm not one of those has made very suspicious.
Look, you deserve the absolute truth.
I thought I already had the truth.
Just listen to me. When me and you first met, you know what I'm saying? There were moments where our relationship overlapped hardly in my interactions. You gotta think, you and I was just friends for a long time.
The fact that you just now tell her.
For the first time in years, Kendra, a woman who had long endured Joc's antics, finally began to prioritize herself. It all started with a revelation, a pivotal moment that changed everything. Kendra was seen meeting with friends at a local cafe, sharing her frustrations, her feelings, and most importantly, the toll that weeks of emotional silence and agony had taken on her marriage. Kendra had always been the more sensible one in her relationship with Joc, but this episode revealed a new side of her. Her patience had completely run out, and it was clear that Joc's behavior and his inability to fully commit had pushed her to her breaking point. The ongoing chaos surrounding Joc's career and personal life left Kendra questioning her future. She no longer wanted to be defined by her relationship with Joc. It became obvious that she was growing increasingly weary of carrying the weight of their marriage alone, especially when Joc seemed more focused on the drama around him than on the stability of their home. Kendra's frustration had reached a boiling point, and in the midst of this emotional turmoil, something unexpected happened. Kendra met someone new. The chemistry between her and this new man was undeniable. Their connection was electric, and there was a palpable intensity to their interaction that left viewers on edge. This man was charming, attentive, and most importantly, he seemed to understand Kendra's emotional needs in a way Joc had failed to in recent months. For the first time in a long while, Kendra's vulnerability felt like a strength. It revealed a side of her that had been hidden for years, one that was ready to embrace the possibility of something new. The new man represented something Kendra hadn't felt in a while, the promise of being seen, heard, and... Atlanta streets were humming as the latest scandal shook the city to its core. As always, Young Joc's life was drenched in drama, but this time, it was deeply personal, more explosive than anything before. It all started when Joc uncovered a truth so shocking it left him reeling. For weeks, he could sense something was off. Small amounts of money kept vanishing from his accounts. At first, it seemed like a simple mistake, maybe a technical glitch. But as the withdrawals became more frequent and systematic, he knew something sinister was happening. Then came the unthinkable. The person responsible for it all was none other than Kendra, his girlfriend, the woman he trusted the most. Determined to get to the bottom of it, Joc took matters into his own hands. He hired a private investigator to dig into the suspicious transactions. What the investigator uncovered was beyond anything Joc had imagined. Cold, hard evidence confirmed the truth. Kendra had been siphoning money from Joc's accounts into her own. And the worst part? It was all caught on video. Seeing the footage was like a punch to the gut. There was Kendra, the woman he had loved and supported, transferring large sums of money without hesitation. The betrayal ran deep. Joc was furious, but not entirely surprised. He had always been cautious in love, but this was a different level of deception. There was no way he could keep this to himself. The world needed to know the truth. With the damning video in hand, Joc made a decision that would change everything. He was going public. The day of reckoning was here, and there was no turning back. But what he wasn't prepared for was the chaos that followed. As soon as the video hit the internet, the reaction was instant. Fans, family, and the entire industry were glued to their screens. The footage was undeniable. Kendra caught red-handed taking the money without a second thought. Social media exploded. The world gasped. This wasn't a simple mistake. This was betrayal on a whole new level. For Kendra, reality crashed down in an instant. She had convinced herself that she was untouchable, that her relationship with Joc would shield her from consequences. But now the truth was out, and there was nowhere to hide. Furious and humiliated, Kendra couldn't believe what Joc had done. The money? That was one thing, but exposing their private business to the public? That felt like the ultimate betrayal. How could he do this to her? Did their relationship mean nothing? Now, with the world watching, the battle lines were drawn. The fallout was just beginning, and neither Joc nor Kendra would ever be the same again. Kendra didn't waste any time fighting back. She stormed into Joc's studio, her face red with rage and her eyes burning with fury.
No, I'm saying, if she not coming into my house, you deal with that. Them your old ass, sad, sorry ass bones, you deal with that. I don't have to. You lucky I'm pouring this much. That's the blessing.
Was making it look like it was more than what it was.
You should have reached out. I'm not a bitch off the street.
You got money with my family. Yeah, but I was getting money with him before you came along.
It doesn't
before
matter.
You married him. You still owed me a conversation, girl.
You been in my house.
But she
She said, I don't owe anybody anything. You do.
Hey.
You owe me an explanation when you all up in my husband's explanation.
She was furious, and the storm of emotions inside her was about to explode. How dare you put me on blast like that? She screamed as she entered the room, her voice loud and full of venom. You think you can just play me like this? Joc stood there, calm but resolute. He had already prepared himself for this moment. Kendra, this was not what I wanted to do. The rage in Kendra's voice was evident. She was hurt, humiliated, and furious that Joc had turned their private matter into public entertainment. But Joc wasn't fazed. However, you left me with no choice. You've been taking from me, and I can't just sit back and let you do that. Kendra's face twisted in disbelief. You're acting like I robbed you. Joc, this is US. We've been together for how long? Retraction was necessary since the consequences of her actions were too great to ignore. You've been stealing from me for months, Joc said in a calm but forceful voice. I had to tell you the truth because you wouldn't be honest with me. You stole money that wasn't yours. You lied to me. And now everyone knows what you did. When Kendra's rage reached a breaking point, she strode over to him and pointed a finger in his face with every word. You say you're making it worse. After everything we've gone through together, you think that exposing me this way will make things right? So you're going to sit here and lecture me about honesty? You've made me look foolish, Joc. Her remarks were piercing, cutting through the air like daggers. This wasn't just about their relationship, it was about trust, respect, and betrayal. Joc wasn't going to allow her to control the situation. You thought you could get away with it thinking I wouldn't catch on, he said, his tone growing firmer. But I did, and now you have to own up to what you've done. To Kendra, this was a personal attack. She never saw it coming. Her pride was wounded, and her emotions were all over the place. Her eyes burned with anger and shock. She couldn't believe Joc was so cold, so eager to show the world her shortcomings. Yes, she had betrayed him, but this wasn't how she had expected things to unfold. She had hoped they could resolve their issues privately, avoiding the humiliation of public exposure. You really think I wanted to hurt you, Joc? Do you think I just stole for fun? Her voice wavered between anger and desperation. I was trying to help you and us, but you turned everything against me and threw me to the wolves like this after everything we've been through. Her hands were balled into fists as she paced back and forth. Joc was quiet for a moment. Then, in an unwavering tone, he said, "You took from US, Kendra, and now you must deal with the consequences." He stared her down. The tension in the room was thick, and Kendra's sorrow outweighed even her anger. She had gone too far, but Joc had made sure she understood. The fallout was real, and her actions carried far-reaching consequences. The walls were closing in, but Kendra could still feel the fire of defiance within her, refusing to back down. Joc stood firm as the confrontation reached its peak. It was unclear whether their relationship would survive the damage, but one thing was certain: Kendra's betrayal had changed everything.